In a significant move on Friday, U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive order halting aid to South Africa. The decision comes in response to a controversial law allowing the government to seize farmland from ethnic minorities, primarily white farmers, without compensation. The order also cited South Africa's critical stance on Israel and its role in the Gaza conflict. President Trump stated that U.S. assistance would remain frozen unless South Africa reversed these policies, which he condemned as human rights violations and evidence of a disregard for its citizens. He instructed U.S. agencies to suspend aid unless deemed absolutely necessary. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has previously rejected accusations of land confiscation and expressed willingness to engage with the Trump administration on land reform efforts. The executive order further directed support for Afrikaners, descendants of European settlers, who reportedly face discrimination in South Africa. The U.S. pledged to facilitate their resettlement through refugee programs if necessary. South Africa's foreign ministry criticized the decision, calling it factually inaccurate and dismissive of the country's complex history of colonialism and apartheid. The ministry condemned the executive order as misinformation and propaganda, and highlighted the irony of prioritizing refugees from a privileged group while denying asylum to vulnerable individuals from other parts of the world. Land issues in South Africa are rooted in the apartheid era, when racist policies forced Black and non-white South Africans off their land for white ownership. Since the end of apartheid in 1994, the government has worked on land redistribution, but Black South Africans, who form 80% of the population, still own only a small fraction of the land. In January, President Ramaphosa signed a bill allowing the government to seize land without compensation under specific circumstances. Despite ongoing reform efforts, unemployment and poverty among Black South Africans remain significant challenges. The executive order follows Trump's broader push to freeze foreign aid and scale back USAID operations. Trump claimed that South Africa's policies reflected a hostile stance toward the U.S. and its allies, citing renewed ties with Iran and accusations against Israel at the International Court of Justice. South Africa has accused Israel of committing genocide in Gaza and urged the court to stop Israel's military operations. Previously, Trump announced a freeze on funding to South Africa, pending an investigation into alleged land confiscation and mistreatment of certain groups, though no evidence was presented to support these claims. This week, President Ramaphosa reportedly discussed the issue with Elon Musk, a South African-born entrepreneur described as a Trump ally. Ramaphosa emphasized South Africa's dedication to constitutional values such as justice, equality, and the rule of law. In his State of the Nation address, Ramaphosa reaffirmed South Africa's resilience, declaring, "We will not be bullied. We are a resilient people who stand by our values."